And tonight I would like to welcome a very special guest, Mr. Michael Gibbons, who created the most amazing buttons called Buttons of Hope. Welcome, Mike. We're excited you're here tonight.
Thanks, Deborah. Glad to be here.
Well,
Appreciate it.
you do an amazing thing for the community, and I want you to tell our audience a little story about how you got started in the Buttons of Hope.
Well, actually, the way it all started is I started a cycling team, and we started one of the things about cycling teams is they do a lot of fundraisers. So I did a local fundraiser 3 years ago called the 24 Hours of Booty, which is a 24-hour bike ride in Myers Park for cancer.
Because it sounds a little different.
It
24 hours
does.
of booty. I like your story better.
Yeah, it's the Booty Loop is kind of named for a 3-mile loop in Myers Park where a lot of people jog and ride bikes. But nevertheless, I decided to do this bike ride and thought that I really should personalize that fundraising effort. So I thought to myself, I knew my cousin had been battling cancer, Dale Lewis, in Vermont. Hadn't talked to him in many years, but decided to do it in his honor, and then had the idea to make a photo button with his picture so that people would kind of see not only what I was writing for, but who I was writing for.
Right.
So that's how it all started.
And you said oftentimes you go to different events, walks for cancer, or your bike-a-thons, and people write the names on just a piece of paper on the back of their t-shirt. And this is an amazing way to be remembered, because I would think it'd be amazing to see your picture and other people were rallying your cause, or you were making a difference in honor of someone else. You know, there are so many people, like you said, that are affected by someone in their family, directly or indirectly, that is battling something.
Absolutely, and I mean, you know, what you say, there's a lot of people that are affected, and anybody who is, for example, battling cancer, there's a lot of other people that are affected too, family and friends and coworkers. For example, one of the things that I thought was very poignant was a couple years ago I went to the Susan Komen Walk, which is a breast cancer walk here in Charlotte. Last year they had 13,000 people do that walk in Charlotte. And one of the things I noticed is that a lot of people right before the walk will be scribbling the names of their loved ones that they're walking in honor of or in memory of on their back on a piece of paper, which is great. I mean, it's great to see all those names of all those, you know, people that they're honoring. And I just had the idea, wouldn't it be that much better if you could see, instead of 1,000 names, you could see 1,000 faces? And the photo button was just a very convenient and easy kind of portable way to make that happen.
And I love that because it touches home. Because when you do those walks, you know, you're walking in memory or riding in memory or whatever activity you're doing in memory of someone, whether it was your grandmother or your brother or your best friend's son. So when you look down at that button, it is an instant recognition of why you're there for the day. You know, those things are just amazing because it brings people together and it brings hope. That's the name of your buttons, Buttons of Hope, because that's what the world is all about, making a difference. You know, the hope of a better tomorrow, the hope of a cure for the cancer that, you know, the person did not survive. Or you said you deal with a lot of missing children buttons. How sad. I can imagine. I'm a parent of a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old. I cannot even fathom how that would feel to have your child missing. Well, the picture's out there for everybody to see in case, you know, perhaps you at some point had spotted this little girl or little boy. How amazing that your button could hopefully bring that child home. That is a wonderful thing you're doing, Mike.
Absolutely, and you know, I started with a local organization, the Kristen Foundation, which is an organization that helps find missing adults, which is kind of a different world than missing children.
Right.
It's treated different by the legal world and the law enforcement world, but equally as important. And then I'm also partnered with the Polyclass Foundation in California, where I am actually donating buttons to, as they bring me cases of missing children, and in the case of the Kristen Foundation, missing adults, where I send the buttons to the family. And the thing about that is I kind of call those buttons are like personal billboards in that, like you said, if you've got people out wearing the buttons of a missing child, people are going to ask you, who's that button? And you're going to have a conversation that never would have happened had you not had the button on. So I'm very excited about that part of what I do. It's something that kind of came up after I get into this. But I'm really excited about the prospects for the missing children and adults.
Well, I'm simply amazed by it. I had a friend that recommended you as a guest, and I think it's great that you're, doing something to make a better tomorrow, doing something to maybe help someone feel better about the pain they're going through. So that is a great thing, and we thank you so much for what you're doing. Now, what would you like to see? What is a success story that you would like to see happen? Million children brought home, cure for cancer, cure for some of the other things. Tell me.
Everything I do is related, or 99.9% of what I do is related to causes. And part of that with causes is fundraising, because
Right.
whether you're going to cure cancer, or you're going to cure diabetes, or mitochondrial disease, or the multitude of different diseases, or if you have a charity or a foundation that is trying to help people, support people who are battling with a disease. It's not always about the cure. But either way, you've got a lot. This year alone, or last year alone in this country, over 10 million people did a charity walk, which is an amazing number of Americans that are out there, giving back and trying to support these different causes. So my goal is nothing less than to change the whole face of fundraising. To put a face on fundraising, to personalize it, to help people connect more with their causes. And I'm reaching out to individuals, and I'm also reaching out to the charities to say,
Right.
hey, this is something that I think can help people engage more in your events, and hopefully, ultimately, hopefully raise more money.
Right. I'm inspired by you, and I want to thank you so much for being part of our show tonight, and I wish you much luck on your endeavors, and I know I'll be seeing lots more of you, Mike.
Good, I appreciate
Okay.
it, Debra.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being with us tonight.
Thanks.
And you too can make a difference, whatever it is, the charity that you want to donate your time to, the bike-a-thon that you want to participate in, you too can make